It's a Friday afternoon. I'm backpacking into Bradley Pond, about 5 miles. I'll spend the night there and then try to climb 3 of the more difficult peaks: Kuchakraga, or Kuchi, Panther, and if I'm lucky, Santanoni. I've been climbing for the last mile or so. The trail is pretty much really a rocky stream, except occasionally it's just pure mud. Now normally you wouldn't hike this time of year because of the mud. It's not only unpleasant, but you're not supposed to because it's bad for the trails. But it was a very dry winter. There was hardly any snow melt. And it's been pretty dry spring too, except this week. It was pretty rainy up until today, really. But I think it's more or less the normal amount of mud in a normal year. The beavers made the last mile really tough. They flooded Bradley Pond pretty good. And the trail, which they always seem to route too close to ponds, was mostly underwater, deep mud, detours into the brush on the side of the hill. I don't look forward to going back that way. It was a long night in the lean-to. I don't know, I was a little sore and uncomfortable. But at 7 o'clock, I've managed to get myself out of the muddy section, crossed a shaky beaver dam, and I'm on the unmaintained trail up to the Santanonis. I don't think I can get lost here. I did have to drop off most of my heavy stuff at a place I hope I can find on my way out. I guess it's all serious up from here. Yikes. I'm at 3,300 feet on my way to the ridge, which is at 4,200 feet. Santanoni is 4,600. Now Kuchakraga is a disappointing 3,850. Not even 4,000, it was a mistake. But as a historical matter, you still got to climb it. It's probably the worst peak you have to climb. A long way, no views, and it shouldn't even count. Now I'm descending into Santanoni Brook right now. It sounds kind of loud. I hope I don't have to cross it. I think I actually have to scamper up it though for quite a while. Now you may notice some improvement since my last trip. For one thing, the video is not quite so shaky. I have it mounted to my pole with rubber bands and some duct tape and stuff like that. Also, I have my trail glasses on. Binaural vision set for 6 feet. So I don't have to look down to see where my feet are. You know how bifocals are. You gotta aim your head. Well, you aim your head down and then bam, you hit your head on a branch. Or you poke your eye out with a stick. Now for the similar reasons, the hat's on backwards because you gotta be able to see up or you'll bash your head, which I did 3 times on the last trip. There it is, the mighty summit of Cucci. It's taken me 40 minutes to get here from the ridge. The guidebook warns it might take as much as 2 hours. If that's the case, I'll have trouble climbing the other 2 peaks and getting to the parking lot on time. We'll see what happens. Well, I've made it to Cucci. And you know, there's better views here than I remember. Actually, I don't remember much about being here. To tell you the truth, I wonder if I have been here before. There's a lot of false nubs. It really seems like there's another peak that you could stop on. Although at that time there were cans that had logbooks, so you had to find a can and sign the logbook to make it official. So we probably were here. We meaning Charlie and me. I remember it being a tough thing. Charlie fell in a hole once. He literally fell out of sight. I was yelling, "Where are you? Where are you?" And he says, "Look down." And there he was, right at my feet. Well, it took about an hour and a half instead of the 2 that they warned me it might take, or more. So I got a shot at getting back to the ridge, and I'll get at least one of the other mountains, Santanoni, I guess, and then we'll see what happens. That's Cucci down there. And that's Panther. Now, that's where I came from, almost. The ridge trail arrives up there from down at that pond. The lean-to I stayed in is in that faint green area beyond the pond, which is a terrible bog. Over there is a Dahaz mine. But I believe this is the peak of Santanoni. Hooray. Here I am on the 3rd peak. This is Panther. It was 13 minutes from the Times Square, they call it. So it was pretty easy. And the idea is I needed to be back there at 4, and it looks like I'll be early, which I didn't expect. Now, I'm really tired. All I gotta tell you, I'm really tired. I hope I get down okay. There's a treacherous section along that brook with the snow and the ice and everything. That's the only challenge left, I think, other than the long slog out on the main trail and